Talofa everyone, I am Sabrina Suluai-Mahuka, and in the last episode we talked about the path to leadership is through service. So welcome to episode 2, where we're going to be talking about a lesson that I learned along the way through my journey for community leadership. So the lesson that I learned, and this is a very important one, is to acknowledge your discontent, but also show gratitude. I think it's very easy to focus on the bad, to focus on the things, the many things that might possibly be needed to fix, not just with those around you, but with also within yourself. And I think if I were to ask somebody, hey, can you tell me what's wrong with your community? What's wrong with this person? What's wrong with this government? It would be filled, right? The whole notebook or the whole paper that I'm giving to you would just be an endless list because we can list everything that's wrong. But I would like to think about it in a different way. Think about what you're thankful for. Think about how fortunate you are. And when I was in Australia, I had actually brought thank you cards for everyone to take that time on one side to list everything that they're thankful for, everything that's around them. And then take another minute or two to write down why you're thankful for yourself. It's so easy to forget how far you've come, and so you don't really acknowledge what you should be thankful for. And so just to showcase what that would look like, I'm thankful for how far I've come and how far our community has come, how far our youth have come in terms of environmental conservation and youth leadership. An example of that is how I shared in the last episode was the program that we went to for Indigenous students all across the U.S. And it's called the Native Youth Community Adaptation Leadership Congress, again, hosted in West Virginia. You can see here all these youth, again, from coast to coast, north to south. We had our students represent, and we're right in the center. I told them, make sure that you're ready to represent our island. And it was here that I was able to share this mindset of showing gratitude with my students and the students that you can see in this picture as well. And that mindset, it's contagious, right? If you're thankful and you showcase that, your actions showcase that, the words that come into your mouth showcase that, then that can pass on to the next person. And so here in West Virginia, we were able to just acknowledge that there are issues. Yes, of course, there's always issues in our own community, but we were able to think about all the things that we have to be grateful for. We found that some communities didn't have access to running water. We found other communities did not have access to internet or to consistent use of technology. And thinking, that we're living on an island, that we might not have those things. So it's easy for our community and our kids to think, oh, I wish I could live here. I wish I had that. And so again, importance, acknowledge what you have. Show your gratitude. It can be the smallest thing, but your neighbor from your sister island or from another tribe in the US or anywhere in the world, they might not have that. And it's almost freely given or, so normal to us that we forget how grateful we should be. And so that mindset, it shouldn't, obviously it doesn't just stay here at this leadership congress. It should be able to build within you. And again, the goal is to pass that mindset to somebody else. And an extended version of that is I'm grateful. Again, I'm just showing an example. I'm grateful for how far we've come with this nonprofit because now we have 3 chapters that are starting up across the island for Finafinau, and we're going to be able to reach like 100 to 150 kids all at one time, and hopefully that number just keeps increasing. But in reality, how we started off with 7 founding members, And you can see here in this picture our focus at this specific, this one was the Urban Climate Action Network, hosted at the National Aquarium in Maryland. And this was just a small presentation, but these are the 7 girls who applied to be part of our program. And it was them that we sat down and said, hey, what can we take back to our community? We acknowledge that there are issues, such as we need to work on our ocean health, we need to build youth leadership, we need to emphasize land stewardship. We knew that. We were able to acknowledge our discontent in those areas. But instead of focusing on what we didn't have or what we weren't doing, we decided that these are the things that we should actually be grateful for. We should be grateful for the lush mountains of American Samoa. We should be grateful for the vast blue Pacific Ocean that surrounds us. Grateful for our culture because it's embedded in our everyday life. And we wanted to combine all of those facets into one focus. And that's how Finafinau started. And again, we started with 7 members, 1 advisor. We started off as a community service project. And from there, it was our passion and our gratefulness and just being thankful for what we have. And that spread into what we are today. Now I work with a team from ASEPA, from the Cancer Coalition, to land grants and the Department of Health. I work with a board who also has that same passion. I work with the youth who are not quite sure what their passion is, but the goal is to spread that mindset, thankfulness, land stewardship, empowering our people. And the last thing that I want to just share is overall, when we're talking about being thankful, don't forget those around you. You have such amazing people who maybe are on the sidelines or are running parallel to you, or they're supporting you. I, of course, along this journey, am thankful for my family and my friends, because my family, that is a journey that I discovered myself. My maiden name, Suluai, was gifted to my ancestor because of the work that he did for the land and the produce that he was able to give out freely to the villagers of Pango. And I resonate with that now as a community leader, and I hope to uphold our family name. I'm thankful to my friends, to my husband, because this is quite a journey, and it was something that I was pushing all the time, and it does require you to take a sacrifice of your time and effort, but it's worth it. I'm thankful for what is provided for you. Again, not a lot of communities have what we have here in American Samoa. I mean, you look around and it's very hard to not see the beauty that we have. Every time I show pictures of, just like even around my house, I show pictures to those people who are like off island or from another place, and they're just amazed by the greenery that our island has. I show them the avocados that we grow here, and they're the size of my head, and they're just amazed because they have to pay $7 for this tiny little egg-sized avocado. The mango trees that we're surrounded by, the beautiful flowers that we have, that's what is provided for us, and so that's also something to be thankful for. Thankful for our education system. Our kids get to learn for free. Not a lot of communities have that. They have school lunch provided for them. And again, it's so easy to acknowledge that, I wish we had this, I wish we had that. But we do have a lot of things that are positive in our community. And if you do see something that you're possibly, you want to improve, you can take the steps to do so. But it just takes a positive mindset so you can encourage people to push towards that change. Be thankful for your community. When we were at West Virginia, we saw so many people, having pride for their tribes, for their islands. And it was It was there that we were able to just rejuvenate and refresh our own pride in our Samoan culture, or in our, as Pacific Islanders. It was phenomenal to remember that our people are amazing and our culture is even more amazing. And we need to remember that and be thankful for how rich our culture is embedded in our everyday life, and it's not stripped away from us. The language is prevalent in most conversations in schools. Um, we have we showcase that in our clothing all the time. Not a lot of communities have that, and so that's definitely something to be thankful for. And the last one is be thankful for yourself. As I was mentioning earlier, it's easy to forget yourself. It's easy to remember those around you, what is around you, but be thankful for how far you've come. You've come a long way, um, or maybe you have a long way to go, but every step that you take is a step towards progress. It may be slow, it may be minute, but progress is progress. And that's what I want to leave you with. Again, this is just a breakdown of the speech that I gave in Australia, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more about the last 3 lessons in the episodes to come. So I hope you tune in. Thank you and take care.